Here I am at the Leyton Orient training ground, waiting for another episode of the O Show. Let's get started. So, that time of the week again where we are going to look at your social media and see what's been going on the Orient Twitter sphere. But first off, let's take a look at the 5 delightful goals that we managed to pop in on Tuesday night against Braintree. Lovely goals there. So well done to Macaulay Bonne for the hat-trick, Josh Coleman for a great chip, and Marvin for his 3rd goal of the season. Fair play, lads. And touching on Macaulay Bonne's hat-trick, a certain Kevin Lisby was being active on his social media earlier this week. He commented on a Leyton Orient Instagram post saying that number 9 is in good hands, and he's done a little spuddy emoji. And Super Kev has got a point there. The number 9 is in good hands, and Tuesday night's hat-trick against Braintree meant that Macaulay was the first player since Carl Griffiths to score 2 league hat-tricks, and I'm sure Macaulay's probably got his eyes on that golden boot as well. Our supporter liaison officer at Karen Orient has also said, "How pleased am I that I had this done now?" A lot of hearty eyes emojis and smiling. She's put hashtag History Boys, hashtag LOFC, hashtag unbeaten, hashtag still. And there's a picture of the wonderful Karen with all the Orient boys. And I think it's fair enough that they're being labelled the History Boys after beating that record. Well done, lads. And now we have a couple of great tweets from @Masters_James D, James Masters. He's put in 30 odd years of supporting Leyton Orient. I can't remember feeling like this very often. I don't know what the future holds, but after the past few years, this feels like a dream and I don't want it to end. And he followed that up with winning 5-1 at Braintree, a player scoring a hat-trick and having over 1,300 fans at an away game on a Tuesday night in non-league football. That's our club, that's our Orient. You know, 2 tweets, so many great points, but I've got to say, the amount of fans we took to Braintree on Tuesday night was very impressive, very impressive. Up next, we've got @Jack Burrows _. He's put, nice and short, nice and sweet. Morning Orient fans with a little kiss. He's listening to Rocking All Over the World this morning. And we are rocking all over the world. Hopefully we're rocking all over the world again on Saturday as well. I am here with Leyton Orient goalkeeper Arthur Janata, Orient's number 9 Macaulay Bonne, and head development coach Danny Webb, and they will be taking me through a training drill today. So Dan, if you can talk us through what you're going to be making me do today.
It's very, very simple. Going to punch a ball to you behind a mannequin, which is a pretend defender, shift it out your foot, hopefully, and whip it in the top bin, and then take your top off and do a clean.
Has it got to be top bins?
It's got to be top bins.
I've never had a day of football training in my life.
No.
Are you going to get
sometimes the ones who can't kick a ball, put it in the top bins. But
alright, cool.
So that's the hope. We'll see.
Judo, like, there we go. Let's go. Yeah, ready? Oh, yes. Oh, he's gone for power. He's gone for power. That's fine. And you kick the floor. Groundsman. Too much harder. Oh. Where's the touch? That was a bit too firm, actually. I'll go again.
I've got no touch.
Ready up. Shift. Oh, 1-on-1. Oh, top bin.
Oh.
As early as you can.
There we are. So, Danny, how would you say I got on today?
Honestly,
Yeah?
what's your day job? You're not unemployed, are you?
Actor.
Carry on being unemployed, it'll work.
Yeah, I think that'll probably
Now,
be
you started
better.
off, your first touch started off a bit like a trampoline.
Yeah.
And it gradually turned into
Yeah.
a bouncy castle. So it wasn't too bad, mate. It's nice to meet you, though.
How many weeks you give me until I'm in the first squad?
I think you've got a while, mate.
Alright, I'll bear that in mind. Thank you very much.
Well done, lovely to meet
I'm
you.
keeping my spot, I'm telling you that now, because I ain't going to worry.
I think you've got a new partner, mate.
Got a bit of touch in you,
Cheers.
mate.
So here we are in the Orient boot room with Orient's first team coach Ross. Ross, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
How have you been since we last had you on the show?
I've been good. It's been.
Yeah.
I'm in a very good place at the moment.
Yeah, you're in a good place, good to hear. So Tuesday night obviously saw us beat the record.
Yeah.
You are now part of the setup that is now part of Orient's history. How does that feel for you?
Immensely proud for everybody. It's there's been a lot of hard work that's gone into us getting to the stage that we have, and it's at the beginning of the season you want to start well and you want to hit the ground running and all those cliches that go with with alongside those run like this. But I don't suppose really you set that plan that we're going to get to the stage where you start looking or hearing about a record that we might be able to take over. So we all had that in our minds on Tuesday night, knowing that we could go to Braintree and give ourselves the opportunity to write ourselves in a piece of history. So it's wonderful.
And we did it in quite an emphatic style as well with that 5-1 win. We're now the league's top scorers as well. Scored the most goals in the league. Anything you want to put that down to?
I think it's a number of things. I think first thing is real credit to the lads that we made a real big point when we reviewed once the gaffer had come in last year, once we reviewed the back end of last season, and we hadn't probably scored enough goals away from Macca.
Yeah.
And that's been something that we've certainly added. I think without you can't put it down to one thing. I think it's probably a little bit more confidence and composure from the individual lads that have got amongst the goals, and then I think it comes back down to some of the work that we put in, day out, when we get the opportunity to. Obviously it's been a brutal games programme, but when we get the opportunity to work the lads, it's collective across what the gaffer wants from us, but from what I do with the boys on particular sessions, and then when Webby takes individuals, does a lot of work with the centre forwards and the players that spend more of their time in the attacking third. So I don't think there's any one reason as to why we're scoring more goals, but we've been fortunate that we have done.
Yeah, no, it's been good to watch as well, good to watch as a fan. We had a chat with Marvin and Josh Coulson earlier, and we were kind of ambushed by Lawless in his pants and a hat,
right,
and a little face mask. Can you tell us kind of from a coach's view, what are they doing out there?
It's fantastic that the club have allowed us a couple of dates between now and Christmas to enhance the boys' recovery. Really,
is that what it does?
So they spend a period of time in a very cold chamber, if you like. That previously you'd have heard there would have been ice baths and there would have been warm downs, and I'm sure that the trends will evolve over the next couple of years, and there'll be something new that people try in order to speed up recovery. But like I said just now, we had a massively brutal games programme for the first 2 months of the season, so all the work that the sports science department do with the boys to make sure that they're not only recovered but then recovered to enable them to prepare for the next game. This is just another thing. Like I say, a fantastic backing that the club have given us the opportunity to bring that in on a day like today, day after a game, to enhance that recovery process.
We've obviously then straight into going Saturday. We'll take on Sutton. We've got a couple of days training before then as well, so that's a quick turnaround, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's tough because from a selfish perspective, as a coach, you want to be able to spend the most amount of time you can working with the players in order to get them, all the physical elements, but to try to send them out there in the best preparation that we can in order to go out and get a result again at the weekend. I think what has to happen in these times like this, when we have the weeks that we're having Saturday, Tuesday, we have to use a lot more video work. So Joe Austin, our analyst, gives us a lot more support around whether it's talking about us and what we do, or whether it's talking about what the opposition do and how they go about it, in order to obviously set our team up to go and. We always try to play in a similar fashion, but obviously you have to adapt that in order to what the opposition throw at you. So that becomes a little bit more play, but obviously from a coach perspective, you want to be out on the grass.
And so looking towards Saturday and our opposition, Sutton, they gave us our first defeat last season in the opening day. What are your thoughts ahead of?
I think when you look at that last season, it was a real two big moments when we played Sutton. The first one was a real eye opener.
Yeah.
On the artificial pitch, on the telly, in the new league, you know, it was all quite a, in the build-up. It was a fantastic thing to everyone feeling as though we had the club back, and, you know, where we felt the club was at the time, and we had a bit of a, you know, harsh welcome in terms of the result and the way the game panned out on that day. I said, and then when you flip it on its head, and when we played them at home, it was sort of almost for me the first time that we had that real realisation from the boys of what the gaffer's expectations were, what he wanted from the group. You started to see a little bit of that increase in intensity from the way that we trained every day. That was the first time it really came into play when we played Sutton on that day, and we gathered a lot of momentum off the back of that game and put in a really good performance. So we're probably, you know, expecting similar sort of challenge. You know, he's got some good experienced players in the Sutton team, and we need to make sure that we, like I just said earlier, we're fully prepared in terms of what we want to throw back at them from whatever they've got to give us.
That's it for another episode, and we now look towards Saturday's game against Sutton at the Briar Group Stadium. Hope to see you there. Thank you for joining us. See you later.